The architect's name was Edward Calloway. A strange man. He attended spiritualist meetings, believed in speaking with the dead. His client, a wealthy widow named Margaret Ashford, had given him a task. "Build me a house where I can hear my dead husband's voice." Edward had smiled. Just his voice? You could hear all voices, from the past, the present, the future. As the house was built, Edward added strange materials to the walls. Crystals, salts, powder made from human bones. "Sound resonators," he said. "They'll capture spirits." On the first night, Margaret moved into the house, and she heard her husband's voice, but not just his. She heard others, screaming, crying, and then Margaret's own voice, from the future, from the moment of her death. "Edward, what have you done to me?" That night, Margaret vanished, and the house began claiming its first victim. 102 years later, in 2025, someone else would buy that house and hear the same voices. Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure to subscribe to Timelost Stories and hit that notification bell. We bring you the darkest mysteries woven with sound, living buildings, and the most terrifying places where souls are trapped. Your subscription helps us uncover more unexplained supernatural events. Now, let's journey to 1923, to Boston, to the birth of a cursed house, Boston, Massachusetts, Edward Calloway's architecture office. Edward Calloway was a 42-year-old architect. Tall, thin, coal-black hair, and deeply sunken gray eyes. People found him odd, because Edward wasn't just interested in building structures, he was interested in the spirit world. Every Friday, he attended spiritualist meetings, mediums, seances, attempts to communicate with the dead. Most people considered it nonsense. But Edward believed. That day, his office door opened. An elegant woman entered. In her 50s, wearing a black dress, veiled. She was in mourning. "Mr. Calloway," said the woman, her voice soft but determined. "My name is Margaret Ashford. I'd like to make you an offer." Edward stood. "Please, sit." "How can I help you?" Margaret sat. She lifted her veil. Her face was beautiful but tired. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying a lot. "My husband died 6 months ago," she said. "William Ashford, heart attack. It was so sudden. We didn't even get to say goodbye." Edward nodded. "I'm sorry." I miss him so much," said Margaret. "His voice, his laugh, the things he said to me. And I heard that. You attend spiritualist meetings." Edward paused. "Yes, I do." Margaret leaned forward. "Mr. Calloway, I want to hire you to build a house, but not an ordinary house, a special house, a house where I can hear my husband's voice." Edward's eyes lit up. "What kind of house?" "I don't know," said Margaret, "but you're an architect. And a spiritualist. If anyone can do something like this, it's you." Edward leaned back, thought, for a long time. Then he smiled. "Mrs. Ashford, let me tell you something. There are forces beyond science. Acoustics, resonance, frequency. If we use the right materials, build the right structure, perhaps you could hear not just your husband's voice, but all voices." Margaret's eyes widened. "All voices?" "Voices from the past, voices from the present, perhaps even the future." Margaret trembled. "Is this possible?" Edward leaned forward. "Mrs. Ashford, everything is vibration, sound, energy, spirit. If a structure is built at the correct resonance frequency, sound waves can be trapped, recorded, and repeated forever." Margaret's face brightened. "Would you do this? Build me such a house?" Edward smiled, a cold smile. "Yes, I will." The house was built outside Boston in an isolated area. Victorian style, 3 stories, high ceilings, large rooms, wooden floors, but Edward's additions were strange. The construction crew noticed Edward placing odd things in the walls. "What are these crystals?" asked the foreman. "Sound resonators," said Edward. "Quartz crystals. They capture and store frequencies." "What about this powder?" "White powder with a strange smell." Edward paused. "A special mixture." "Bone powder, salt, and other things." "Bone powder?" The foreman was uncomfortable. "Yes," said Edward calmly. "Spirits remain in bone. This powder will bind them to the house." The foreman was disturbed, but the pay was good. He continued. Edward also created hollow sections in the walls, resonance chambers, hidden spaces where sound waves could echo. "The house will be an instrument itself," said Edward, "a giant sound resonator." In November, the house was completed. Margaret came and saw it. She gasped. "Magnificent," she said. Edward smiled. "Just the beginning. Now, we need to activate it." "Activate?" Edward led her to the basement. There, on the wall, was a strange symbol, an occult sign, and a planchette, used in spiritualist seances. "Tonight," said Edward, "we'll hold a seance. We'll awaken the house." That night, Margaret and Edward sat in the basement. Candlelight, the planchette on the table. "Place your hands on the planchette," said Edward. Margaret did. She was trembling. "William Ashford," said Edward, his voice deep. "Hear us. Your wife Margaret calls you. Come to this house. Let us hear your voice." Silence. Then a whisper. Faint. Very faint. Margaret's eyes opened. "Did you hear that?" Edward smiled. "Yes, the house is responding." The planchette moved, slowly, spelling out letters. M-A-R-G-A-R-E-T. Margaret began to cry. "William, is that you?" The planchette continued. I-M-H-E-R-E. "Oh, God," said Margaret. "He's here. He's really here." Edward leaned back, a strange light in his eyes. "Yes, but not just him." Margaret looked at him. "What do you mean?" Edward looked at the wall. "The house is now open, not just to your husband, but to all spirits, from the past, the present, the future. All can come here." Margaret felt uneasy. "But I only want William." Edward smiled. "Too late. The house is now a door, and the door is open." That night when Margaret went to bed, she heard voices from the walls, faint whispers. "William," she called, "is that you?" A voice came, but not William's. A woman's voice. "Help. Please." Margaret froze. "Who is that?" Another voice, a child. "Where is my mother?" Another voice, an old man. "Why is it dark?" The voices multiplied. 10 voices, 20, 50, all talking at once, crying, screaming. Margaret covered her ears. "Stop! Please stop!" But they didn't stop. And then, one voice, a familiar voice, her own voice, but from the future. "Edward, what have you done to me? Please, get me out of here." Margaret froze. This was her voice. But words she hadn't yet spoken. Words from the future. Words from the moment of death. Morning. The house was silent. Edward came to check on Margaret, but Margaret was gone. The bed was empty. The room was empty. He searched the house. She was nowhere. But in the basement, there was something. On the wall, a new stain, reddish-brown, like blood, but dry. And from the wall, a whisper came. Margaret's voice. "Edward, you trapped me here. Why?" Edward stepped back. His heart began to race. "Margaret?" "The house absorbed me. I can't get out anymore. Only my voice remains." Edward trembled. "No. This shouldn't have happened." "You wanted this," said Margaret's voice. "The house is alive now, and it's starving. It fed on me, and now it wants you." Edward started running, went to the door, tried to open it, but the door was locked. From the inside. "No!" he screamed. Voices came from the walls. 10 voices, 100 voices, all saying the same thing. "Stay. Stay with us. Forever." Edward's screams were heard that night, but no one came. In the morning, the house was silent again, and Edward Calloway was gone, but his voice remained, in the walls, forever. Years passed. The house was sold many times. New owners came. Some stayed, some fled, but 47 people never left. 1927. A maid. Her name was Clara. Drowned, but there was no water in the bathroom. Her lungs were filled with sound. 1935. A tenant. Named Thomas. Suicide. But his note was strange. The voices won't stop. Won't stop. Won't stop. 1942. A family. Mother, father, 2 children, died in a fire, but the fire only started in their room, and the sounds, the screams, were recorded in the walls. 1958. A writer. Came to write a novel in the house, went insane. Wrote countless words on the walls. Voices, voices, voices. 1973. A couple on their honeymoon. 3 days later, both vanished. Only their recording devices remained. Inside were screams. 1989. A sound technician. Professional. Tried to analyze the sounds. His last recording, "The house is alive. It's controlling the frequencies. I can't escape. Help." Cut off. 2003. A student. Researching paranormal events. Last message. There are 35 voices in the walls. They all want the same thing. Release. 2015. A musician. Testing the acoustics. Disappeared, but his guitar still played. In the walls. Forever. 2024. The house went up for sale one last time. For a long time, no one was interested, because it had become an urban legend. The cursed house. But at the beginning of 2025, someone came. Her name was Maya Chen, sound engineer, and the house was ready for her. Boston, real estate office. Maya Chen was a 31-year-old sound engineer. Medium height, straight black hair, sharp glasses, serious expression. Films, games, music. She did all kinds of sound design. And she was looking for a house, a quiet place, somewhere she could set up her own studio. "I recommend this house," said the realtor, from 1923, Victorian, magnificent acoustics, and very cheap. Maya looked at the photos. She was impressed. "Why is it so cheap?" The realtor paused. "Well, some people say the house is disturbing. They hear sounds." Maya smiled. "Old houses always have sounds. Pipes, wooden floors, not a problem." "But I'll take it," said Maya, "right away." Maya moved into the house. The first night everything was perfect. High ceilings, large rooms, wooden floors, beautiful echo. She set up her equipment, recording device, microphone, computer, audio analysis software. "Test," she said into the microphone. "Test, test." She waited. The echo returned. Test, test. But there was something else, very faint. Another voice, just a whisper. Help. Us. Maya paused. She rewound, listened again. It was there. Very faint, but there. Strange, she thought. Maybe a neighbor. But the nearest house was a mile away. That night when she went to bed, she heard it again. Whispers from the walls. Please. Hear us. Help. Maya got up, listened to the wall, put her ear against it, and heard. 10 voices, maybe more, all talking at once. Maya grabbed her recording device, pressed the microphone against the wall, recorded. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The voices continued. Then they stopped. Sudden silence. Maya went back to bed, but couldn't sleep, because now she knew the house wasn't silent. In the morning, Maya analyzed the recordings. She examined the sound waves, did frequency analysis, created a spectrogram, and was shocked. There were 47 different voices, all talking simultaneously, but each in a different frequency band. Some very low, below 20 hertz, below human hearing. Some very high, above 20,000 hertz, ultrasonic. But all there, recorded. Maya isolated one, adjusted the frequency, listened. A woman's voice, old, frightened. My name is Margaret Ashford. I moved into this house in 1923, and I can't leave now. The house trapped me. Please, if someone hears this, save me. Maya froze. 1923, she whispered. That's 102 years ago. She isolated another voice, a man, younger. My name is Edward Calloway. I built this house, and I made a mistake. I made the house alive. It holds spirits, and it took me to God. What have I done? Maya trembled. Another voice, a child. Where's my mother? It's dark. So dark? Is anyone there? Maya closed her eyes. Is this real? Another voice, more recent, 2015. My name is Jake. I'm a musician. The house took me. Now only my voice remains. Please, get it out. Maya understood. These weren't just old recordings. These were live voices. Real people, trapped in the walls. Maya researched the house's history. Went to the Boston Historical Archives. Found Edward Calloway, architect, spiritualist. Disappeared in 1924. Margaret Ashford, wealthy widow. Disappeared in 1923. And more. 47 names. From 1923 to 2024. All disappeared or died in this house. Maya found a newspaper article. 1989. Cursed house. Sound technician disappears. Family claims he heard voices from the walls. Maya's heart began to race. Another article. 2003. Paranormal researcher. House is alive. Holds 35 souls. Maya froze. 35 souls? In 2003. Now, 47. The number was increasing, because the house kept feeding. That night, Maya tried an experiment. She pressed her microphone against the wall and spoke. Hello, my name is Maya. I can hear you, and I want to communicate. Silence. Then, a response. Margaret's voice. Can you hear us? Yes, said Maya. I can hear you. Oh God, said Margaret. It's been years. No one could hear. Only you. What's happening? Maya asked. Why are you here? The house, said Margaret. The house is holding us. Edward made it alive. with spiritualist spells, with sound resonators. And now, the house absorbs us, our last breath, our last words, our last consciousness, and records us in the walls. Maya trembled. How can you be freed? We don't know, said Margaret. Edward knew. But he's here too, and now he's also trapped. Maya took a deep breath. Can I speak with Edward? A pause, then another voice, deeper. Edward. Maya Chen, he said, you must leave, immediately. The house wants you. You're a perfect victim, because you're a sound expert. You understand frequencies. The house can show you more, share more pain. But I can save you, said Maya. No, said Edward. You can't leave. Because the house has a heart. In the basement, a crystal resonator. You need to destroy it. But the house won't leave you alone. Maya stood up. Where? Basement, darkest corner. But be careful. The house hears everything. Maya went down to the basement. It was dark, damp. She turned on her flashlight, scanned the area, and saw. In the corner, embedded in the wall, a large crystal, quartz, strange symbols carved inside it. Around it, bone powder, salt circles, occult signs. Maya approached. The crystal was vibrating, slightly, emitting a constant frequency. This was the house's heart. Maya reached out, touched it, and instantly heard everything. 47 voices, all at once, screams, crying, begging, help! Save us! We're suffering! Maya pulled back. Her head was spinning. She needed to destroy the crystal. But how? Break it? But she didn't know how hard it was. Then an idea came. A sound. The right frequency could break anything. Resonance frequency. Maya ran upstairs, grabbed her equipment, signal generator, amplifier, speaker, came back down, set it up. I need to find the resonance frequency, she thought. Started frequency sweep. 20 hertz, 50 hertz, 100 hertz. The crystal began to vibrate. 500 hertz, 1000 hertz. Vibration increased. 2000 hertz. 3000 hertz. The crystal started cracking. Maya smiled. Found it. She maxed out the frequency. 3847 hertz. Perfect resonance. The crystal vibrated wildly. Cracks widened, and then it exploded. A sound wave filled the room. Maya fell to the ground. Crystal fragments scattered everywhere. And then silence. Maya stood up, checked her ears. No sound. The walls were silent. Maya went upstairs, looked at the house. It felt different, lighter, less oppressive. She set up her microphone, looked at the wall. "Hello?" she said. "Are you there?" Silence. Then a faint whisper, but this time happy. "Thank you." Margaret's voice, weak but peaceful. "We can leave." Finally. "Wait," said Maya. "Where are you going?" "We don't know," said Margaret, "but we're not here anymore. We're free." Another voice. Edward. "Maya Chen. You saved us. 102 years. Finally. Peace." The voices slowly faded, disappeared, and the house truly became silent. A year later, Maya still lived in that house, but there were no more voices. The house was just a house. Maya set up her studio there. Film sounds, music, everything. But sometimes, on quiet nights, very faint, very distant, she heard a whisper. But this time it wasn't frightening. A whisper of gratitude. Thank you. Maya. Remember us. Maya smiled. I'll never forget you, she whispered back, and continued working, because now she knew voices were powerful. Trapped voices, even more powerful, but the most powerful was the voice of liberation.